All right, this is the golf swing of Mark G. And look at that, he's at Torrey Pines. What a nice spot. You can tell he takes his golf fairly seriously because he is playing at Torrey Pines, and you don't pay that kind of money for just a casual round. So, Mark, I like your setup a lot. Actually, I like your golf swing a lot. There's a lot that's really solid about this swing. The very first thing that I'm seeing that you could maybe work on is possibly, it looks like you're reaching for the ball to me. There's a lot of space between your hips and your hands. Let me get that line a little bit higher. Between your hips and your hands. Um, the angle here between your shoulder, your arm, and your club shaft. Um, that is at about, I tested it on a different program, and it's about 159 degrees, and optimum would be about 144. So with your arms hanging a little more straight down and the shaft coming out more at that angle, so your hands act as a more effective hinge, as it were. Um, and what that's going to do, actually, let's talk first still about your setup. It's very athletic, and I like your knee bend is not too deep and not too straight, so it looks like you're really like ready to go, and I like that a lot. The one thing I do see is that your feet are lined up slightly right. I'm assuming that you're aiming down the middle, probably towards this tree here, out there, and you can see that if I continued that line out there, it would be out there to the right. Um, that's what I love about this program, is it tells you it tells you where you're aiming 200 yards away. It's really cool. Anyways, um, what your high hands and your feet lined up right, I think you're going for a draw there because your shoulders are actually lined up left. So these two lines are working against you. Uh, so you really want to strive for getting your feet. Sorry, let's clear this off. Getting your heels, not so much your toes, but your heels, your hips, and your shoulders all going in the same line, which is parallel to your target line. Um, so to bring you a little bit more through the swing, it's a really nice one-piece takeaway, a little bit inside the line, which is great. I like that. Really big extension here, and then it kind of goes out way inside there. You're rerouting a little bit, but then you get to a really good, decent position at the top. Look, your club is pointing just a little bit left. The shaft is pointing a little bit left of where I feel like you're aiming. But all in all, this is a great position. This spine angle, your head stayed so still throughout the entire thing. I really like your leg work, your knee work here, your footwork. Really solid. Great position with your left arm there. That is fantastic. The thing I love about the next part is your hips. Your hips initiate the downswing um, by rotating towards the target. This is a fantastic move right here. But that's a great move. You're folding everything up, creating a little bit of lag. But then the next thing you do, Mark, is the next thing that moves is the club head goes from there to there. Let me use a different tool so I can bend that line. The club head's coming around, and it's really coming over the top, from the top. So you're losing a lot of the power, and your effective club head speed is starting up there as opposed to down here through impact. So let's look at that once. You can really see it right there. That position, that club should really still be behind you, and it's way out towards the camera right now. Um, you're saving it because your head is so still. You're staying behind the ball. You've cleared your hips. That's gorgeous right there. And this is a great position at impact. But what you've done is you've wasted a lot of your power right up there as opposed to at the ball. And then what happens is, let me get rid of that again, and what happens is there's a slight, just a very slight, right there, cutting across the ball move, right there. It's almost as if you're pulling your left elbow into your body and your club head goes there instead of there. So the club doesn't extend as far down the line as we'd like to see it. Sorry, let's go back and check that out again. So you're bringing it down. It comes over the top right there, bam, and you can really see it right there. and then terrific position and impact. And this is why you hit a lot of fairways, because you're really solid and stable right there. I got a feeling that this ball didn't go it went right, but not very far. I think it starts off, and I think it goes right down the middle of the fairway, and then maybe just tails a little bit. You probably hit this 250 or 260. I'm thinking there's not a whole lot wrong with this golf swing, but you do cut across right there. You can see that club goes it goes from there to there, and we'd really like to see it coming from here to there to play more of a draw to go down the line of your feet. If that's what you want to do is play that draw out there, then you need to have an inside to out swing path with a square club face or a slightly closed club face. The club face at impact should be at your target, which I think would be right out there, like again, by that tree. So let's take you all the way through, and you can see that cutting across move. You can see that right there. You cut across it just slightly, just barely. You save it, and you got nice balance at the end, and then there's a weird rebound. Your club goes down. So there's something in there, and I think it's because your hands got overactive to close up the club face because that over-the-top move from earlier. So let's look at it. Actually, let's look at your whole swing in slow-mo. Witness a very nice golf swing in slow-mo here. You'd be the guy I'd pick for my team, Mark. So here we go. Now, bam. And you can really see it kind of accentuates that sort of cutting across, over the top to cut across move that you're making right there. Let's look at it one more time. Same thing, getting back there. Come on now, come on back to address. There we are. And let her rip. There we go. Now, I'm going to take it through one more time with the scroll bar and go even slower, almost frame by frame. My wife just got home, so I got to cut this one short. You can see that move there. Terrific hip action right there, and then a little over the top move. Not huge, just a little bit. Ball goes right down the middle of the fairway. You can see that, and then great balance at the end. Check this out. What I love also is that your ankle and your knee and your hip and everything is pointed right down that target line. That's terrific. You see a lot of guys with that ankle bent over that way, and that means that they didn't shift their weight quite as effectively as you do. Very impressive golf swing, Mark. Please share it and tell all your friends. Analysis is free for them as well. All you got to do is send me an email to pro@nathanprevostgolf.com.